What's up, guys? I'm back with the 2015 Audi A3 Quattro tsfi motor 2.0. This is a quick video. I'm going to say it real quick. Timing gear is attached to the valve cover. So if you have an oil leak on this valve cover and you plan on doing it, know this. You are going to have to disassemble a hell of a lot. I wish someone would have made a video for this because I looked everywhere and there's not one video telling people this for this motor. You literally have to pull the whole timing chain and cover off. Right up top here, when you get this off, you're going to see the timing chain comes around and sits on a guide for the timing chain. I guess they have these plastic guides. You can pull them. They're also called wedges, I believe. You can pull them out, but you literally have to take this whole cover off, which I did, and that's how I figured it out. It is resting. The valve cover is all one piece, and it comes up, and there's a metal slide, and that timing chain with that wedge is slid over that metal flat plane. There's like a flat plane in there, and it's sitting and it's sliding on there, and it holds the chain. You can do it, but you really better know what you're doing. There's another video a gentleman made. He did a really great job. I'm pretty sure it's this motor. The only difference was I have two timing or two valve or cam sensors here. I have one here and one here. They each have 3 bolts, 1, 2, 3. There's one on top, one down here, and then one underneath. They're a hell of a trouble to get through, but I did it. These actually, after you take off all 3 of those bolts, I believe it was a T27. You could also use a T27 is what I'm going to go with on that. But once you get those out, you literally have to take a screwdriver and get in between here and wedge this off, and then it pops off. Be really careful with those. And once you do get both of those off on this motor, that is, then you can take off all these bolts. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the ones on the bottom are really hard to get to. I don't know if you can see it, but they're pretty rigorous. My finger's right here on one. The light's horrible to see, but I'm trying to get some light. There you go. There's one here, and then there's another one back on the other side down toward that way. And I could see it, but the light is like unbearable here. There it is right there. There's 2 of them. See, 1, 2. So you got one here and one here. One, and then one back over here. Right to the tip of my finger. There. Once you get those 2 out of there, you can take that cover off. The other thing is, there's no gasket for this valve cover. This is silicone adhesive. When you get this valve cover off, you literally have to precision put this down. And I mean, you better be like a doctor. And I mean, you really got to have a smooth hand and put it in the right spot. Get it all around, and then you put that back on top. Oh, another thing, guys, this is very important. I didn't understand the importance of this, but there's another video and the guy said it, and I guess I didn't understand. This is spring loaded. And what he means by that is if you have to take this whole assembly off here. There's a bolt running through underneath the intake. There's 1, 2, 3 holding this whole thing on. Now, when you pop this sensor, before you take those 3 bolts off, do what this guy said in the video. Take these 2 bolts and just loosen this off. Back this off. Because it's under pressure sitting on a cam. Your cam lobe comes out, and I believe it somehow hits and opens and allows the fuel. This is your high fuel pressure. Loosen these 2 bolts, 1, 2, and just don't take them out all the way, but come out about halfway, and just back this off. And then take those 3 bolts off on the back of here. And when I say this whole assembly, I'm talking about this big chunk back here. This is attached to this, and this all has to come off. There's 3 gaskets actually meshed in between here. Be careful when you take this off. Make sure you don't drop those down there. You're going to need those. And then you could just slide those off and around. You know, take this out. I recommend take this whole thing off both sides. Pop that out. that's pretty much it. I had enough room in there, and once I got that out to get in here. And then, yeah, take that off. You got a bunch of bolts. Everything else is pretty, you'll figure it out. The hardest part was figuring out the wire harness and all the connections for the sensors. This I actually, this was a pain. This is like for the coolant line. It's a metal line. I actually took this and bent this back. I wouldn't recommend doing that. One, because you do it enough and you could break this, I feel like. But I did what I had to do because I needed to get to it. So I'm sure you probably have to disconnect here and disconnect this bolt here and disconnect here. So you can take this whole thing off and here too. That's probably the proper way to do it. And I will do that next time because I don't want to keep bending that and create a problem. So that's it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.